Hello everyone, today we have the newly updated Blade. In the most recent patch, they changed Blade's text. Instead of a 1-3 discard a card in your hand, it is now a 1-3 discard the rightmost card in your hand or from your hand. And so that's great to use in unison with once a swarm has been discarded. Those free swarm copies generate on the right side of your hand. If you draw into Apocalypse, you can use it as that targeted measure so that you can much more easily kind of gauge if it's going to be value added to play the Blade or not. It's no longer that Hail Mary, just hope and pray that it's not going to hit something you don't want it to. And so Blade gets so much more value. He definitely earns a spot over the Nebula now. And outside of that, it's a pretty standard Dakin discard, and this one feels good. We lost a couple whenever we hit a few kind of low rolls, but for the most part, we have been absolutely cleaning up against just about every type of deck that you could imagine. We were able to beat the 7th ranked person in the world in the Infinite Ladder, which is so cool that we know that now. I'm going to really enjoy the ranked ladder and just kind of seeing those numbers go up and down. It gives me a purpose to continue grinding after I hit Infinite. But as far as the deck, we do have Silver Samurai here. He works well in unison with Dakin if you don't have another way to discard the Muramasa Shard, but it's by no means core. You could go with a normal, like, Hell Cow. You could go with a Storm. You could even throw in Nebula alongside your Blade to lower that curve a little bit so you can more easily manipulate what you're going to discard and win. I only got a handful of good Silver Samurai usage, but when he came into play, he came to play. He gave us a lot of value, and with Loki running around, the Loki users are not going to want to drop the Silver Samurai in fear that it's going to help your hand more than it helps theirs, and so it gives them a potential dead resource whenever they flip cards, but it's by no means core. You can switch it out and the deck's going to do phenomenally. Overall, I think discard is in a really good spot with the targeted nature of both Silver Samurai, Calling Wing, and Blade. It just gives you so much control on what and when you discard your cards. Oh, and the OG herself, Lady Sif. But we're going to go ahead and jump over into a couple of games. Thank you guys as always for being here. I hope that you enjoyed the video. And just a sub note, Snow Guard is incredible, especially with Collector, but I didn't want to touch on that since I already did a build yesterday that would be very close to what I'd be running with the Loki, but I think Snow Guard definitely deserves a spot. So we're going to be jumping into a couple of games. We are nearing 40,000 subscribers, so if you're not currently subscribed but you enjoy the content, definitely consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here, but we're going to jump into a couple of games. I hope you guys enjoy. An extra +3 doesn't hurt. The Legion is interesting here. Okay, so we're not going to get the second Muramasa Shard, unfortunately. Shame on them. Rude. All right, let's go MODOK. That's going to help our Morbius in this lane. It's going to help Dakin. It's going to help Dakin. Ooh, so they do stick it out. Interesting. Oh, no. Well, they must have more than 5 here, I would imagine. Do they have more than 16 in this lane? Oh, they don't have more than 5 here. Why'd they stay? Maybe they didn't know we had the MODOK, or they were hoping we didn't have the MODOK because we didn't play it on 5. We'll take it. And so we are going to gain 12 there. What? My rank went up. I won and my rank went up. I guess more people hit Infinite in between... in between my last game and this one. Ooh. Next up, we have a 335 rank versus our 252. Interesting. And so now that's going to put a little bit of, like, I don't know, anxiety into some of those games. Like, if you're playing a top 10 person, you're going to be like, they know what they're doing. And I know that we already know those people that already know what they're doing, but it just, I don't know. It seems like it'll be significant. It may not be. But it seems like it will be. So they have the Mr. Sinister, the Nightcrawler. Do they have... Is this a Cerebro 2 build? With these two, that's what it looks like initially. I'm not a big fan of the Triskelion, but... we can use Hulkbuster, merge with the Morbius, get a 5 power 1 back in return. And then next turn we could do those two. I kind of like it. Ooh, the Storm in the left lane is interesting, kind of scary. I think we throw both of our Morbiuses, both of the Morbius cards over into the left lane. As long as they don't have As long as they don't have a Juggernaut, we should be okay. We'll see. We'll see if they do or not. Let's go ahead and make sure that Morbius sticks here. We're still looking for the MODOK, and so if not, then it's looking like we do maybe a Silver Samurai. Maybe we do a Lady Sif to be able to discard a couple of cards and bump up those Morbiuses. Let's go ahead and play both of them in the left lane. Brood. Okay, so it does look like a Cerebro 2 build. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Could go up to 16 pretty easily. 24 is fairly likely. Kind of like the idea of doing maybe this. It's not great on the discard front, but we forced them to discard one of their cards. They only have, they do have 7 in hand, so oof. All right, let's do this. The Rocket is a decent little bonus. The Cerebro, ooh, but it copies the Cerebro, and so we're gonna make them discard that copy. So they're not gonna be able to do 3 at the very least, thankfully. A Wolverine jumping in the left lane would have been a little bit better, but it's all good. 2, 4. We can't win this left lane, actually. Unless maybe this? One more 4 would bring them up to 12. A Blue Marvel would bring them up by 6 here. This is our only shot. It's only for 1 extra cube. Oh! Silver Samurai absolutely saved that one for us. Let's see if we drop a few more ranks. And so we gained 1 cube. It's +4. Do we drop another couple of ranks? Ooh, we went back down. Let's go. That's going to be addictive. I could see myself playing more ladder just to see the number go up or down. All right. Next up we have, they bought the Beach Bums bundle. The new one that just came out. They're rank 581. We get their Sentinel, so not bad. We do have Calling Wing to get rid of either Sentinel or Swarm. And then if it's Swarm will pop up in the right. And so then a targeted Blade would be pretty nice. We have Dakin as well, so that's not bad. Let's go ahead and do our Calling Wing. We're hoping for the Swarm discard, I think. I don't know. Our hand space gets pretty questionable pretty quickly. The Mirage, so this looks like a pretty standard Loki deck. I used that one for the majority of my climb, so I recognize it well. We lost our Dracula. Oh, woof. That's rough. Let's go. I guess we just go Dakin now. Let's get cracking with the Dakin. The right lane being Sokovia, they get the Collector. Beautiful, beautiful value on their end. Ooh. The Blade to target the Muramasa Shard is decent. I'd rather it would have hit the Swarm, but it's not bad. Being able to use it freely and know that it's not going to tank our hand. I mean, this one, it'd be fine regardless of what it hit, but knowing exactly what it's going to hit helps me kind of play it a little bit more strategically and know when I want to save it, when I want to play it. And so I like the Blade change a lot. I never thought I'd want to run Blade in my discard cards unless I was just running like a complete Hail Mary version. They made it so that I want to run it. This is not good. Our hand is not great. We don't have any more discards. We didn't draw into Silver Samurai, MODOK, or Lady Sif, unfortunately. And so if they end up getting, I guess Loki could give them a big bump in the Collector lane. So Mirage ended up copying the Swarm. And then they got one from the Daily Bugle. Okay, interesting. Is this worth it? 9, 10, 11, 12. Brings it up a decent amount. I don't know if this is worth it. They haven't snapped, so I'm guessing they don't have a great finisher. I'm hoping. We're going to play one Swarm in the right lane and see how it goes. They could move their Jeff over into Sokovia. That'd be kind of scary. So just the Jeff in Oscorp Tower is not going to do it. The Chavez in the right lane is not going to do it. We actually get the clean sweep. Wow. I'm guessing they had a really bad draw is what it looks like. They were going for Loki and they weren't able to get it. but we will take the 2 cubes that give us 6 snap points, and we do drop back down a couple. I really like being able to see that change every game. All right, next up we have Clo. The first location is the cloning vats. And so Morbius there, Dakin there is also really, really big, especially since we already have our MODOK. I'm going to pump the brakes. I'm going to not snap immediately. We will snap here in just a minute because our Dakin is going to be huge. And, ooh, Triskelion. I don't necessarily care for the Triskelion. Let's go ahead and go Morbius. Or we can go Iceman and Blade. That clears up enough space for us to do Dakin, get it back in. Yeah, let's do this. They did snap. We're going to snap right back. Going to turn 3, we're going to play Dakin. Maybe even a Dakin on 4 in the cloning vats again. I don't know for sure. I do know that we are going to be able to lean very heavily on the 16-ish power Dakin. And that's what we're hoping for. They have the second Quinjet, and so the Triskelion plus the Quinjet is huge. We get another copy of Kraven, so if we were running Move, that'd be a solid play. All right, let's do the first of many Dakins, and then we'll see. We'll see how it's going to be best. We could either get 32 power Dakins on the board, and we could probably hold it off until super late game. So we could do this. That will generate another shard, but that's not... We don't get the Dakin back in. All right, let's do this number. All of our power is going to be in the Morbius and the Dakin. And they do have Loki plus the 2 Quinjets, and so all of their cards in hand are going to be very, very cheap. So it's very scary, but I also think it's very, very fine as well. Let's see. Wow, the Chavez. They're going to be able to do for, what, 3 every single turn? It's just cheap. And then they had the Blade as well, which they let discard the Calling Wing, which they let discard our Blade. Interesting. Okay. So we do have the Dracula. Not that we necessarily need it. Let's go Morbius. Let's go Dakin. And then we can go MODOK. And that's going to make both of these lanes just hum. That is going to elevate both those lanes dramatically. And we don't have a Cosmos, so I don't think we have to worry about them stopping us there. Chavez in the left lane again is big. Very, very scary. Wow, they discard their Swarm. They make us discard one of the Muram. No, we discard Dracula. Okay, perfect. And they do hit Loki again. So solid. And that they have 5 cards. Goodness. They have some very cheap resources to leverage. All right, so this is going to give us 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, plus a lot over here. And then the same thing in the right lane. I don't think they can stop us from the double Dakin and discard. I just don't think it's going to happen. Maybe it does. Maybe I get humbled. We could also do this just for giggles, because that's going to generate the Muramasa Shard back in. We get an extra 1 power in the left lane. So just in case it comes down to a point differential, that's what we're going to do. Hello? They are rank 1, 2, 3, so a beautiful rank. I'd almost not want to play anymore, just so you can keep the 1, 2, and 3. Ooh, okay, Dracula is big. The Morbius, wow, and then the Swarm, the Calling Wing to discard MODOK. I wonder if they have an Apocalypse for that Dracula. All right, so we get the Muramasa Shard back in. Both of our left and right lanes just go so crazy. They do not have the Apocalypse. They have the Chavez. We take the left. We take the right. We take 8 cubes against rank 1, 2, 3. Let's see how much that's going to generate. 28. Goodness. You see, rank number 7? Number 7? God, he is farming up a storm. So the big house is going to be great. We have Calling Wing, which can hit our Swarm. We also have Wolverine, which we don't necessarily want. They're going the Kitty Pryde, Shuri, Kitty Pryde Taskmaster deck, which is a good one. It's a very solid. It has a high power output. Let's do Morbius into the big house. We're very worried about them being able to do Shuri and Kitty Pryde on 5 into Kitty Pryde in the big house. We just won't be able to compete with how much power they're going to be pumping. It is what it is. So the MODOK is going to be decent. Let's hit the Calling Wing now. We'll hit one of these two. We're hoping for the Swarm. Wolverine is acceptable. And then we'll go from there. Silver Samurai could be pretty nice if they ever skip the Kitty Pryde line. Could be pretty nice in making them discard their Kitty Pryde, and that would potentially win us just the whole game. We do hit Swarm, and then Dakin. Dakin is a beauty, a sight to behold. Let's do Dakin in the right lane. No, I'm going to go ahead and do Dakin in the left lane. We're going to stack heavily in that left lane. We have the MODOK. We have all of the Swarms. We have the Apocalypse that'll be buffed up. And so I think we're okay doing it this way. No Silver Samurai, unfortunately. But Dakin is a good follow-up. And so they play something into Hala here. Ooh, Snow Guard. There is Snow Guard like the Snow Guard. Now, they get several of our discard cards, but unless they happen to hit a good rhythm of them, it may not be all that great for them. I'm going to go MODOK into the Hala lane, and they took away their Kitty Pryde, right? They didn't play Kitty Pryde last turn? Interesting. Okay. I kind of want to snap back. Knowing that we have the Apocalypse, the free Swarms, the Wolverine that's going to bounce onto the board, let's go ahead and snap back against rank number 7 in the world. I just think it's a cool title. They don't have the Snow Guard variants anymore because they did use that with the Loki, or they used that and then the Loki. I sure hope we win this one to see how many, because last time we won, I believe it was 4 cubes or 8. We got 12 points. I'm wondering if we would get more points because they're higher ranked in the world. Or maybe not world, maybe in the region. I don't know if global matchmaking, they haven't said if global matchmaking has hit or not. Okay, so the Apocalypse, the Wolverine does bounce into mid. We have an awful lot of Swarms here. The left lane is stacked. They do have their Dakin, the Angel of the Dakin. What else is cracking? The Wolverine, interesting. Okay. I think we just drop our Apocalypse into mid. This lane is safe. Apocalypse in mid seems like the play. And then these two are just kind of wasted, but we'll throw them over there. I don't think they're going to have a Shang-Chi. If they do, then they just win. They could potentially do, what, Dracula? Could they do Dracula and MODOK in the same turn? Dracula would be 2. MODOK would be 3. Yeah, they could do both. That'd be crazy. Oh well. We're going to go into mid. The left lane is stacked. The thing about Loki decks, or they're low-key, very you're really tough to read the potential power output. So we do grab the 4 against rank number 7. We grab the win. We go up how many? 16. We went up substantially there compared to when we were going against rank 123. And so nice. Back up to 245 on our alternate account at that. This isn't even our primary. We're going against all kinds of the high-ranked people right now. Next up, we're going against Placeholder. Mojo World is kind of scary. I guess not with Swarms. We can typically, as long as we can get a Swarm discard, we can fill up the location. Let's go Morbius into mid. The Lady Sif discard is not great for the targeted because we got both Chavez and Dr. Doom. We'll see. We may go ahead and play it anyways, depending on what we draw. Ooh, the Adam Warlock from Triskelion being played into Mojo World is so sleek. That's gonna be tough to overcome. I do wish we didn't have this competing priority because we drew into our Apocalypse. So it'd be nice to be able to play there. Let's go Lady Sif. Hopefully they play for White Hot Room here and not further into Mojo World. I want to stop them from drawing if we can. They double drop in the white hot room. Ooh, Bast and Carnage. What kind of deck are you running, placeholder? Curious. Blade with the targeted discard or the Apocalypse could be nice. Let's go Dracula for now. We'll see what we draw into next. Silver Samurai plus a Blade would be big. That'd be huge. We are here for it. That is what we're hoping for. Ooh, Magic to extend the game. So we're hoping for the Silver Samurai top deck here. Calling Wing's not bad. We'll take the Calling Wing. Do we want additional swarms or do we want the Apocalypse? Because once Swarm discards is going to move over to the right, I think we go Apocalypse. Getting the high roll in the Apocalypse, I think, is going to be a little bit better than the extra swarms. I almost want to snap here. But we won't. We won't do it. We could get extra energy from the white hot room if we wanted. Not that we necessarily need it. This deck typically curves out its energy very, very well. So we get the one on Apocalypse, the swarm, we get the targeted on Apocalypse, which is so nice. I love the Blade. I love the new Blade change. And so with Chavez here, unless they yanked the location away, we do this number. It does cap us out in this lane, which I don't like. But we're completely unencumbered here. I guess we don't really need 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't really need the extra energy. Let's just go Chavez. We're gonna play Chavez and see. We're not gonna cap out the white hot room. Wow, Mr. Negative came down super late into the Psylocke. Okay. And so Silver Samurai. I almost want to play our Apocalypse outright. Do something like this. I assume that they will assume that they've lost Limbo and they'll play away from it. And so we're going to throw Apocalypse here. Swarm here, and then maybe we get lucky with an Atuma, with a Chavez in the left lane. Let's go ahead and do that, and we're gonna hope. We're gonna hope that they didn't get a great inverted resource. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see what they played. This lane is gonna be tough. The Shang-Chi is not enough. Interesting. Okay. The Ebony Maw on the left lane is huge. Wait. I'm so confused by every single play here. This, if it wasn't post-infinite and with a player ranking, I would have thought that was kind of bot-like. Because this never won this lane. Ever. I guess if we didn't play a swarm over there, it wouldn't. We will go ahead and take it. Let's see how that affects our rank. That's only a 2 cubes, so it's only 7. But we do jump. We're at 245. We don't change ranks at all.